Hey, GLP-1 plus sides community. Before we jump into the podcast, please take the time to leave us a 5-star review on whatever audio platform you're listening to the podcast on. Share your story and how the podcast has helped you. This will help us get referred up in the audio platform so that we can reach more people that need our help, our support, and guidance from our doctors. Help us get loud and change things.
Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity, related diseases and disorders, and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together, because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.
Hey everyone, before we dive in, I really want to share something personal with you. About, I want to say like 8 to 10 months ago, after losing 100 pounds on GLP-1s and keeping it off for a long time, I started regaining out of nowhere, and I was terrified. But I also started having hot flashes and bouts of crying and snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. unable to go back to sleep. It turns out I was in perimenopause. So I started hormone replacement therapy, which is also called HRT, through a telehealth called Winona that specializes in this. And it changed everything. And now I'm sleeping better. And my hot flashes are all but gone, thank God. And I feel like myself again. And it turns out that you can actually start perimenopause as early as 35. And well, I'm 46 and she's here. HRT has really come a long way, and there's just no need to suffer anymore. So if you're like this and you're in the same boat, you can check out buywinona.com and you can use the link in our link tree to save some money.
Want the fastest working GLP-1? For half the price, Ro now offers FDA-approved weight loss injections cheaper, with results you can see faster. Lose 15% of your weight with the formula from Eli Lilly that hits not one, but 2 hormones to curb hunger and nausea. Weight loss faster. Confidence higher. Price cheaper. See if you qualify at ro.co/TV.
Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, wegovy, or Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity, related diseases and disorders, and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together, because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.
20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Ro. Ro helps find the medication that's right for you, based on cost, availability, and your weight loss goals. Losing weight with GLP-1s is possible through Ro.
Welcome.
Welcome.
I've got no chill,
Exciting
y'all.
day.
I've got no chill. How is
It's okay.
everybody doing? I know I can't even know, but like we're so excited for this episode. As you can see from the title, we have a community member on that is very loved and adored by so many of us, Rosie O'Donnell, that's going to tell her community story today. And we're just going to hang with Rosie and let Rosie be herself and tell us her story. But if this is the first time that you're listening to our podcast, let me tell you a little bit about it. One, I'm Kim Carlos. Both Jernine and I and Kat, all three of us live in Atlanta. We are friends on TikTok, and we are all taking a GLP-1 for different reasons to help with our health. And it has bonded us together. And we have a very strong community on TikTok. And with everything that was going on with the media, spreading very false, information or misinformation or incomplete information, we just got tired of them taking our testimonials and turning it into just whatever it was to fit their agenda, and it just wasn't right. And we wanted to take our voices back because this medication for so many of us has changed our lives. So we want to do that. And we're trying to get very loud and try to remove the stigma around obesity, to remove the stigma around these medications, and hopefully get loud enough to the point where we can affect change. And we're not 100% sure what that looks like, but we know if we get noisy, it's possible. So luckily, we have been able to do this, and we have so many of you that are supporting the podcast, and it's growing every week. But that's what we're trying to do here. So I take Wegovy. I've lost 62 pounds, and it has completely changed my life. I have dealt with really just crippling anxiety. I would say the majority of my life, but just sort of like, and I always try to describe it as I had, and I'm sorry for those who are not new and already know this, but I had a sort of like, I lived in my mind, just constant obsessive worry about everything. And when I got to a certain level of this medication, it turned off like a switch. And it has been the most powerful, amazing thing that has happened in my life, aside from having my son. And I have just gotten to a new place of health and happiness. And I just want everybody to feel like this. So we're hoping that by getting loud, we can somehow find a way for there to be more access to this medication and more affordable access to this medication, get these drugs on more formularies, and find a way to make it, required in some way, because obesity is a chronic disease that leads to so many other things, especially type 2. So we are trying to change things, and I'm very passionate about it. So I'm sorry for running off. But if you're new here, which you may be, I wanted you to know. So my other co-host is Kat Carter. If we talk a lot about butt stuff, because Kat does butt stuff, so you don't get Mounjaro butt. She's very into fitness and exercise and exercising the booty and making sure it stays good. So we do talk about Kat, and Kat is in France and doing butt stuff in France for us. Yes.
I am in the French Riviera. I'm actually in Nice. I'm on vacation. And I lots and lots of walking. And I just posted something. If you check me out on TikTok, Kat Carter 7. I've always, like I said, like Kim said, I've always loved fitness. I loved working out, but I was always, I struggled with binge eating disorder. So that's always been an issue for me. And there's so many other layers to this, but to make it short for our fantastic guest, so we can honor her time. So binge eating disorder. I love fitness. I discovered Mounjaro. I actually found we touch on this in all of our podcasts. I found a doctor that actually listened to me and was not a butthole and dismissed me and told me to eat less and move more because, well, jerk face, I move a lot.
Yeah.
So
a lot.
But so Mounjaro's helped me lose 60 pounds, give or take, maybe. I don't know what's been going on this week. It's been a lot of rosé and a lot of cheese. But it really, actually, it hasn't really helped. I just know, like evenings when you come home and I get back to the hotel room, I don't want to have a piece of cake or whatever. So I'm not obsessing over it anymore. But yeah, I do extra squats and butt stuff to help, because I really think it's, the media, of course, talking about getting Mounjaro butt and Ozempic butt.
Yeah.
It's just because you're losing weight so fast. But we don't do that because we already have muscle under there, and it's saying, hi, muscle.
Okay.
So just work on that, that butt stuff.
That's
in
right.
the French Riviera.
Well, thank you so much, Kat and Janine. For our new listeners, tell us a little bit about your spiel and what you're doing here, and all that.
Well, my name is Janine, and I'm sticking to it. And I have Mounjaro, but yes, even though there's muscle under there,
Impression.
I do butt stuff with Kat, and I'm sitting on a pillow right now.
Yeah. Squeeze your cheeks. Squeeze them.
That might require too much work right now because I got to focus.
Yeah.
But I am, I'm on Mounjaro. I had been on TikTok, but never posted anything. And I was just led to share my journey. I'm a type 2 diabetic. I have Sjogren's syndrome, which is an autoimmune disease. But on top of that, I'm just a female that struggled with obesity later in life, on top of perimenopause.
Good times.
So yeah, good times. So that is why I'm here, and for healthcare access for all. Yeah,
absolutely,
awesome.
Absolutely.
We all want that for sure. Well, that's great. So as I mentioned earlier, our very special guest from our community is Rosie O'Donnell. I'm going to invite her in and give her the space that we give everyone in our community to tell her story from beginning, middle, end, whatever she wants to. We're not cutting anything. So here we go. Without further ado. Hey, Rosie.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to our little scrappy podcast.
I never knew there was something called Mounjaro butt.
Oh, yeah. It's all in the news.
Yeah, it's all
Mounjaro face I've heard, but I haven't heard of Mounjaro butt.
Yes.
Oh,
butt with skin hanging off. Is that the
no.
Yeah, it's like saggy butt.
Yeah,
it's just a butt.
It's just a deflated butt, because I used to have a butt, but I don't have it anymore.
I really need a pillow in the merch store that says something about MJ butt. Like, I feel like that would be really funny with the logo.
Yeah.
Just do it. Hold on, Kim. Let me do my vacation. I'll get off.
That people like us who've struggled with weight our whole lives are now so concerned that somebody might notice that our butt is, when you're getting close to whatever the number is for you, and that you said I will never go over, and you are, at that point, it's just about your health. So I don't care if I get Mounjaro face. I don't care if I get Mounjaro butt. I know this, that when I went to the doctor, I moved out here 2 years ago. I had to get new doctors. And this one doctor said, "You are pre-diabetic." I said, "I know, but they've been telling me that for 10 years. And she said, "Yeah, but you're 7.0 is the cutoff and you're 6.9 or something like that." She said, "I would rather treat it now than wait and see what happens." And I already was a type 2, right on the borderline diabetic. So in about September of last year, she gave me she said, "Would you take a shot?" I'm like, I haven't taken shots, but I'm sure I could. So she gave me that and something else called Repatha, which I don't think has anything to do with weight loss. I have to take that once. That's something with my heart, I think, but I have to take that once every other week. And I take Mounjaro every Thursday. So I didn't start until December.
Okay.
I kind of like, nobody was talking about it then in September. I had seen the Ozempic, but I didn't really know what it was for or think anything about it. And so on December 16th, I take the shot and I go with my son and he gets engaged. And I knew it was happening and it was very emotional. And I never, I just was so emotional. I was very crying during we saw a musical after him and his fiance. It was Phantom, and it was great. And
Congratulations.
crying a lot. And then I went to Nobu, which is my favorite sushi restaurant in the world. And normally I can eat there. I couldn't eat anything. And I thought it was because I was upset, right? I didn't think, when she told me, this doctor who's wonderful, when she told me, we're going to do this to get your A1C down, I said, okay. She never mentioned weight loss.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in the world of it yet. So after about 10 days where I noticed I wasn't eating so much, but I wasn't sure, I get on the scale and I lost like 9 pounds. So if I go right away to, I have a terminal illness.
Yeah.
Right? I told my doctor, I'm like, there must be something wrong. I'm not hungry. And I lost weight and I don't know what's happening. And she's like, that's the Mounjaro. I said, it makes you lose weight? She said, yes. And I was totally unaware,
Yeah.
So I had the vertical gastric sleeve at 50 after I had a heart attack. So probably at my heaviest was when I had my heart attack. I don't know. I think I was 240. I don't remember exactly the number because like at some point, like I remember 227. Remember that show 227?
Yeah. 227.
Absolutely.
I always thought to myself, oh my God, I'm 227. And before that, I was Karen Valentine, room 222. So that was sort of my, like, I'm staying in this. I can't go past this.
Yeah.
And when I did, I stopped weighing myself. Well, I had a heart attack and I was lucky to survive it. It was the LAD, the Widowmaker. And that was about 10 years ago. I lost about 30 pounds on it. I got down to sort of where I am now, like in the 190s. And then I gained some back, like 10 pounds back, but it definitely was a help for me. And it was the only option at the time. So I did it at all of my doctor's requests. And now cut to 10 years later, and they tell me I'm a type 2 diabetic, and I get this shot. The first month or two, I was in shock. I could not believe the effect that it had on my thought process about food. We all of my family, Irish people, potato pulling Irish farmers from the 1700s. That's us. We all have the same kind of body and the same kind of weight issues, but it wasn't, when we were young, it wasn't that way. When my mother was alive, my brother Danny was in husky clothes, which was like a big shame for him, he tells me now. But the rest of us weren't. But after my mother died, we all gained weight because nobody was there to say, don't eat the Oreos. Nobody was there to, to be home with us. And we were 5 motherless kids. And we ate what 10-year-olds would eat, right? Left to their own devices. So I think in my life and career, I've always had a weight issue, especially in Hollywood. When I did League of Their Own, I was like 170 pounds. And I remember Penny Marshall going, I want you to lose 10, 15 or 20 pounds. Can you do it? And I said, well, if I could do it, Penn, I would do it because nobody likes to be obese. Nobody likes people to say to them, you should lose 20 pounds. Nobody, you don't carry it around for fun. You carry it around for reasons that you don't even fully understand.
Right.
And I thought they were mostly emotional reasons.
Yeah.
But from this medication, I've realized there's a biological component that is hard to we just lost the south of France.
Quick pause here. I've had moments on my GLP-1 journey where insurance changes or rising costs force me to look for a new provider. And honestly, that process can feel very overwhelming. But that's why the Plus Size podcast is partnered with GLP Winner to give our subscribers a resource to help them make that decision easier. GLP Winner is a comparison platform that lets you explore telehealth providers in all 50 states, whether you're looking for brand name medications or compounded options. You can see pricing up front, read reviews, and get a clear picture of which provider might align best with your needs. Check it out today at glpwinner.com/plus sides. That's glpwinner.com/plus sides. Don't forget the Z. Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m., and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was, because I'm 46. And it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again. And the hot flashes are gone, which is, geez, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast because obviously many of our listeners are going through the same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you had this great resource because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need.
"20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Ro. Ro helps find the medication that's right for you, based on cost, availability, and your weight loss goals. Losing weight with GLP-1s is possible through Ro.
We
we did. She'll be right back, I bet. We'll
Somebody's making her like a brie omelet or something.
There she is.
Yes.
Oh, she's back and better than ever. Oh, there you are. I was worried about you in the south of France over there.
Right, exactly.
It's a hard knock life for you. It's a hard knock life. So anyway, I always thought that the weight was emotional and when there was stressful times in my life, like when I started my show, I was probably about 180. That was in 96. And by the time the 6 months were up from when we started in the summer until Christmas, I had gone up to 200. And I remember thinking, Roseanne Barr announced on the Tonight Show when she was under 200 finally. And I remember in my mind thinking, okay, you're as big as Roseanne Barr. Not that that's a horrible thing to be, but I was always smaller than her. And now I was equal to her. And we were both entertainers, both named Rosie, both in show business, both comedians. Yeah. So, it was easy to be mistaken for her and to sort of categorize myself with plus size women for the first time, because I always bordered Gap and Lane Bryant. Yeah. I was like not fit enough for the Gap, but I could fit in the XL. And I was not fat enough for Lane Bryant. In fact, I used to make a joke that sometimes in the mall, I'd go into Lane Bryant and they'd say, we have nothing here that could fit you. And I go, oh, thank you. I'll go.
Thank you so much.
Exactly. Like, oh, look at me. Okay. But it's a silly thing to think that, the plus size wardrobe community or lack thereof was only really one place that we could go. It's different now.
Yeah.
It's better now.
It has evolved quite a bit. Yeah.
But I have been on it since December 16th and I've lost almost 30 pounds, like 29 pounds. But I am on 2.5 because of my gastric sleeve. So my doctor told me, she said, your stomach is much smaller than people who've not had this surgery. So the amount of stuff that you need, the stuff that's in there, is less than most people. And if you have no side effects and you are not suffering, I'm not suffering at all. I think that this is a miracle drug. Yes. It's a miracle drug. I tell people the truth. My children learned very early to hide their candy at Halloween. Yeah, and from November 1st until Christmas, every night before I went to sleep, all I thought was, there's a Butterfinger in here somewhere. and all I got to do is find it, right? I couldn't stop myself. Like you hear people talking about the first time they smoked meth or the first time they took heroin, they thought, I am never not going to do this. Well, that's how I feel about Mounjaro. Not only does it really regulate your A1C, I went from a 7 down to a 5.1 or a 5.2. Now I know I'm privileged and white and rich, and I have a lot of things that most people in the world don't have access to. And I have the financial ability to pay, although because I'm diabetic, my insurance does cover it. But I called my agent after about 4 months on this, and I said, could you call Eli Lilly and tell them that I would be willing to be their spokesperson for free if they would still provide the coupons. I don't even want to be paid. I just want to be able to go out there and say, this will change your life. It's changed mine. Now, I haven't lost, like some people go on there and whether they admit it or not, including some celebrities, where you look at them and go, I don't know who you think you're fooling, but nobody goes from looking how you did to looking how you are without this medication or this help. No one
Tell
does.
it, Rosie.
Yeah, people used to say about Oprah, they used to say, she's so rich. Why doesn't she just hire somebody to punch the food out of her hands? You know, like that she was so, why could Oprah Winfrey have a weight problem when she's the richest, most successful woman in the world? Because that's not what it's about. It's about your genes. It's about your biology. It's about nurturing and ways that you compensate with food, ways that you emotionally satiate yourself with food. I have a chef because I took a year to get healthy, and I hired a chef, and she's amazing, and she makes me calorie appropriate and protein appropriate meals. And sometimes I still love the meal. This is what people say to me. So you're not interested in food? I go, I'm not interested in snacks. I used to have snacks a lot.
Very good point.
If there were cookies at my house, warm cookies, I would eat them. In fact, when Kelly and I, my ex-wife, when we started dating, the first time she came to my house, I had made Nestle's Toll House cookies, and they were still warm. And she never had a weight problem at all. And so she came in and I said, would you like a cookie? And she said, no, I'm not hungry. And I said, you don't have to be hungry to have a cookie, you know.
Cookies are not about hungry.
Well, I better watch this one. She's got some sneaky ideas, you know. Because I can't believe that somebody wouldn't want a cookie. And I think back to times in my life, like when I first did the Tonight Show, everybody else backstage was worrying about what they were going to say, what the interview was going to be like. And I was trying not to eat the brownie in the craft service table. I was sitting there not worrying about my first national television experience. I was worrying that I really wanted to eat the brownie and I couldn't. And it was the only thing I thought about before I went out on that stage. Food noise, as people are calling it, had really run my life, and I didn't even know it until I took Mounjaro. I didn't know.
I agree.
So I would love to be able to try to get Eli Lilly to make compassionate use for this drug. That they're going now, apparently, they're going to do it for obesity as well, which they really should. And I also think it could help anyone with addiction. Because any kind of
studies are there,
because you know, I find that I don't really want to drink either. And I'm not thinking like I used to, because I was on every diet there was. I even did fen back in the 80s or 90s. You know,
we did your chub club at work.
Exactly. I did the chub club and gained weight, you know, like, but
we did
never an answer for me. And any fix that I got, I knew it was temporary. Well, all I think about this drug is I want to be on it the rest of my life. And I don't care if it's still 2.5. I don't care if I only lose a pound a week. I don't gain on this. And gaining was a big problem. So some people have said, well, you only lost 28 pounds since December. That's only, you know, I go, right. And in a year, it's 60.
Yeah.
In a year, it's 60 pounds. And I'm halfway through the year. Now, some people say you should go up to 5.0. But I'm listening to my doctor. I feel very good. I have not had one side effect besides the first week when I couldn't eat. I felt like I thought I was going to get sick, but I wasn't necessarily nauseous, but I just felt like, what's going on, you know? And aside from that, I've had zero side effects. And I know that I'm very lucky. I know there are people who've tried it and they can't bear the side effects. But for my body and for what it does to me chemically inside of my cells is miraculous. It's miraculous. Now, I don't know about you ladies, but I always have to watch when I lose weight because I don't like the attention it brings to my body. And that's from abuse stuff as a kid. That's from not wanting to be a victim, not wanting people to desire me in a way that I feel I can't control. So as much as I am very thankful to have it, I'm very happy that I'm staying on the low dose, because if I continue to lose a pound or 2 pounds a month, I'm okay with that. I really am. I think the slowness allows my emotional world to catch up to my physical world. Like I went to a wedding this weekend, and the woman who brought me, it was a black tie wedding. Don't ever do that to your friends. It's a horrible thing. But I got a tuxedo, you know, and the woman was like, oh no, these are too big. These are too big. And I'm saying, well, since I saw you last, I only lost 2 pounds. And the woman seamstress who was there measured me and she said, you lost 3 inches on your waist. I was like, really? Since then? She's like, yes. So I don't do like, you know, I don't do the string or the measuring tape to see how much I'm losing. I just know that I am. And I know by the fact that I'm not eating the cookies that are sitting right there. And they're sitting there now. And sometimes my chef will make one cookie for me after dinner, right? Like this big and I won't eat it. She put it in the little tray next to me and I say, thank you. Then she leaves and I go, I don't really want it, right? Because she's made me a very balanced, protein-rich vegetable meal. And I feel satiated. I feel full. And I no longer look to add something to my mouth when I have feelings, or I no longer am distracted at the movie theater. I went to the movies with my daughter and she wanted Twizzlers and Kit Kats, right? And she's like, and the popcorn is horrible at this theater. I said, okay, so let's get Twizzlers and Kit Kats. And we get there and it ended and the Twizzlers weren't even opened, right? She's a 10-year-old, so she was happy with her little mini thin Kit Kats. And I just sat there with the Twizzlers and I was like, look at this. There was a time when if I went to the movie theater, not only would I get a Coke Slurpee, I would get popcorn with Milk Duds in it. And I wouldn't be able to not do it. Yeah. It was almost like I was drawn like a magnet to the concession stand.
Yes.
And then fighting myself to not get the Milk Duds, but then giving in and getting the Milk Duds. And I felt so ashamed, you know, I felt ashamed that people were making fun of me, you know, weight-wise, everything. Whenever anyone disagrees with me, especially politically, the first thing they say in their insulting of me is, you are a fat, blah, 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 you know, communist, horrible, but the always fat, as if I didn't know. Yes, I know what I weigh, sir.
Newsflash, right.
And the way that people are discriminated against, thought to be, as you said earlier, fat and lazy, thought to be non-disciplined, thought to be gluttonous. And, you know, people were always surprised. My best friend Jackie is very thin and a runner and always never had a weight problem. And she always said, Roseanne, you eat so much less than me. How is it possible that you are this big? I don't know. I didn't know how it was possible. Because if you would compare what I would eat to what someone else would eat, you'd think I would be the one who was thin. Yeah. But it was not the case, you know? And most of my weight is in my stomach, which also I think has abuse abuse connotations and connections, that some parts of your body you want to be covered up a little bit more, not exposed. You know, I've worked on that with my therapist for many, many years. And I just find it interesting that, you know, most of my weight is right there, you know, in my belly. And I just think that if there's any way that I could help at all, you know, I would do anything to make sure that people can get it. It seems so unfair. And even more unfair, in my opinion, are the people who have been using all three of these weight loss medications. And then because of the cost or a decision by the company making them, they have to stop.
Yeah.
And I, like you ladies, I assume, live in fear of the stopping. Now, I'll tell you that last week or 2 weeks ago, we couldn't get Mounjaro. It was sold out in every place in LA. So I had a 13-day from the last shot to the next shot, 13 days. And I was happy to say I didn't feel much different. But I also think it's been in my body for 6 months, and maybe there's, you know, there's excess. But I didn't feel the panic that I thought I was going to feel. But the women, and I hear their stories on TikTok, and I see the pain in their face, saying that I will do anything to get it. And that's kind of what I feel. Not because I want to look a size 6, you know, not because I want to, but I want to live. I want to be healthy. I want to not have to worry about carrying this extra weight. And when people say that's all you lost is 30 pounds, I want to go get 30 pounds and hand it to them. And say, walk up the stairs and walk back. Now tell me how you feel. It affects every part of your life, not just the emotional shame and shade that you get from the world, but the physical wear and tear of the excess weight on your body and your heart. And I had a massive heart attack. And you know what? It wasn't enough to make me lose and keep it off.
Yeah.
A massive heart attack. So I don't know what else you can do besides this medication. And you know, people say, what if it comes out that it's going to affect you this way or that way? I'm like, I can tell you this. I don't want to live my life without it. My life was out of control without it. And I know there are people who take, I think it's called antabuse, where you take a shot and then if you drink, you get sick, right? I know there are people who have medications that sort of stop their addiction. And I really do believe there'll be other uses for this drug in that arena too, because I do believe I was addicted to food. I do believe I was addicted to sugar, and I couldn't shake it. 90-something% of people who go on diets gain it back. 95%. I mean, are you kidding me? Right. And so Jenny Craig just closed, right? They're out of business. And, you know, Weight Watchers, listen, I know it works for some people, but it doesn't work consistently and it doesn't work long term. And Weight Watchers now has just an online prescription company that can get you your medication. So I think this is the way weight loss is moving in terms of health and medically. And I'm really happy and proud that I got to experience for myself just how life-altering it is. And I would love to help in any way. I would be more than happy to be the spokesperson. I had some people on talking about this, and they're like, well, how come you admit it? I'm like, don't you notice I admit everything? You know?
Right. Like, how do you
when it happens to me, if I feel embarrassed or if I tell people right away. But I don't see any reason, because to share what works and what might help someone else, that's the greatest gift of your life, right? I have found this thing that is so beautifully changed my noisy monkey chattering brain around food. And I want every woman who's lived like I have for 61 years to have the opportunity to try this and see if it works with their body. And then to be able to stay on it and not have to take out a mortgage. $1,000 a month is obscene. It's obscene in America, the way that pharmaceuticals work. and Eli Lilly, I believe it was diabetes insulin. They just came out with a cap on it. So Eli Lilly, although they have done a lot of non-ethical things like OxyContin.
Yeah.
They also have a soul as far as a company goes, that they did decrease the cost of the insulin. And now I'm hoping that they will decrease the cost of this. I mean, they're a multi-billion-dollar company, and this is really serving a community that has been largely ignored and ridiculed for decades.
Ridiculed, yes. It's still easy. I think the reason why a lot of times like there's resistance to it is because the narrative is too easy. People have to stop using it as a butt of a joke, like you're saying, fat this, fat that. Like you're changing the narrative, and so people are not comfortable with that. So that's where some of that resistance comes in.
Once I presented at the Oscars, and I was thin. I was doing a Broadway show. I was like in the 170s. And I remember my brother Timmy calling me up and going, "Why'd they have to put you with the plus size? They said all the bigger girls, and then they show like you and Delta Burke and blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Tim, I don't know why, but even at my thinnest, I'm still called fat." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and I don't have any desire to fit into a patriarchal view of what a woman's body should look like. I have no desire. I have no such influences in my life and world. And I'm lucky because that's a freedom that a lot of women don't have,
Yes.
But that's my weight story. And
food has definitely been a very dominant voice in my head. That's not the main focus anymore. Dieting, exercising, and adding GLP-1s through Ro is a game changer. I have such a sense of mental freedom since I started with Ro. Food no longer controls my thoughts. Family time used to revolve around food, and now it revolves around what we're going to go do together.
I'll answer any questions. I don't know what else you would want to know, but
I think what we had hoped was to let you speak and then just have dialogue and have a conversation.
Okay. Great.
So a lot of the things that you said, I think too, around like how this changes a biological dysfunction, I don't think that people understand that. And like even on your TikToks, I still see people say, tell them that they shouldn't use it to lose weight because they're still thinking traditionally of like fen-phen, right? And they're still thinking of it like a diet pill. They're still thinking, oh, it's just gluttonous people that want to lose weight. And it's not. Like we know scientifically that it's righting a biological dysfunction. So
obesity is an illness. It's an illness, and it causes so many medical problems that the companies are going to be saving money innately by, having like, everyone always says, why they'll never cure cancer? Because it's so expensive to treat cancer. That nobody in the companies and all of these, research stuff. My glasses are crooked. My kid hit me last night. Yeah, sorry. But that people, where's the motivation? Well, the motivation in this case has to be humanity, humane treatment for a vast majority of the population of American citizens. We have like the highest obesity rate of any country. It's absurd. And to not think that this is a medical condition or a malfunction in your system, your body system of how to metabolize and store fat is wrong. That's what it is. And everyone who sometimes on my TikToks, people will say, I'm so mad because I have diabetes. And I'm like, listen, I have diabetes and I couldn't get mine last week either. But do you deny the people who are feeling the same life-altering effects that we are? Do you deny that to someone because they don't yet have diabetes? You want to wait until they're 61 and they have diabetes and then give them this miracle cure? I don't think that's fair or humane.
I don't either. Yeah, I think it does make a lot of sense too. And it's like, even with me, so I've always been obese. I was a big chunky kid. That's always what they said. Like, it was always, you have such a beautiful face and a big personality and you're so proportionate, just all that kind of crap, like all the way growing up. And I had an eating disorder from the age of 8. So I had binge eating, like I would say very consistently through the majority of my life. And I couldn't stop. Like the way you described that was like exactly how I felt. I had no control. And it was like, and then it was almost like I had to satisfy that thing, and it would only last a few minutes. And then all of a sudden it would happen to me again. And I had lap band surgery in 2007. So a really long time ago. And it worked for me for quite a while. But guess what? I had a couple miscarriages. I had my son, and I gained it all back and then some. Because, like
Did
you
you
said,
have it removed, the lap band removed?
I have not had it removed, but I
Why?
haven't had any issues with it. Insurance and the cost of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
because
know?
I always feel worried about people who have things
Yeah.
inside of their body that aren't
Me
supposed to be there,
too.
you know.
Mhm.
But
Mm.
you try everything. That's the bottom
Yeah.
line, is you try what's available. And what's available
Yeah.
at the time was the lap band, and then finally came the gastric bypass and the
Yeah.
sleeve, and you know, people are trying to catch up. People who have
Yeah.
obesity are trying to look for something that's going to help them. And you know what?
Mhm.
In my
Yeah.
61 years, this is the first thing that has.
Yeah.
And it does not feel intrusive. It does not feel like I am punishing myself. Sometimes when I was on, you know, a Weight Watchers or Diet Center, one of those, it would be like I was white knuckling it. You know that expression
Yeah.
in AA,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
when you're not
Mhm.
working the program, but you're just holding on by the edge. And, you know, I felt like every diet I've been on, that's what I was doing, holding on
Yeah.
and white knuckling it. But I do not feel that on this.
Yeah. It's like you're like you have a freedom to make your own choices. It's like
Well,
it's
that's
just
what I said to my doctor. I said, you know
yeah.
what this provided me with? She said, what? I said, freedom. I am
Yeah.
free from food.
Mhm.
I ordered
Good.
Chicago deep dish frozen pizza sent to your house, Lou Malnati's, right? I ordered
Yeah.
it. It was in the freezer, and we
Okay.
recently moved from this house to go to a
Mhm.
different house, and the people who were helping us move threw it away. And you know
Yeah.
what? I hadn't eaten it in 2 months. I had ordered it impulsively online, and it was here, my favorite kind of food, and I didn't eat it. And I knew it was here. And
Yeah.
contrast that to knowing where the Halloween candy bag is. All
Yeah.
I can do is think of, where did they hide their Halloween candy?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
No,
And
food
my
is
Yeah,
daughter,
definitely.
yeah. Food is an
when my
addiction.
daughter was so angry at me and saying bad things about me in the press, that's what she said. She used to steal our Halloween candy. I'm like,
Oh my God.
guilty of that, honey. Every obese mom.
So what? I steal candy
true.
too.
My
Yeah,
husband
of
Well,
course.
calls
you
me
know, 'cause
daddy.
I went to Overeaters Anonymous because I just, you know, and that's what you say, it is an addiction because it's part of those 12-step programs, you know, Narcan, AA, and OA. Yeah. And it was like white knuckling, praying, calling your sponsor is just, yeah. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
not a slam on it, but yeah.
I went to one OA meeting. I was pretty young. I was like 20. I had gone to college and gained weight in college. And so I was going to an OA meeting, but I never had a binge eating issue, or I never had a throw up eating issue. So I was very lucky, right?
Yes.
But I went to OA and I heard a woman say, I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts and I got 2 dozen donuts and I ate 1 dozen on the way home, but I threw the other dozen out the window, and everyone started to clap and congratulate her. And I thought, I cannot relate to this at all.
Yeah.
I had no ability to find myself in that meeting because it seemed like everybody was addicted the way people are to meth or heroin.
Yes.
True. It can't, yeah,
Yes.
very much so.
It can be very severe.
Yes, it can. Yeah, I think in terms of, you know, the binge eating and seeing, and this is something that I've sort of realized, and I'm kind of thinking like with you were describing, I didn't want to eat and you were feeling very emotional with your son. Like for me, I remember like the moment that I had no emotional connection to food. It was like it severed like a cord, like just between my body and and I didn't know what to do with myself because I had always soothed with food, like always, you know, and I didn't know.
You mean
on
Mounjaro? You feel
yeah.
this?
Well, I take wegovy, but yes.
Oh yes, same.
Yes, yeah. GLP-1.
Yeah, that's
yes.
what it does. It does
Yeah.
sever your noisy, confused
Yes.
telephone line from the, you know, party line from when we were young.
Yes.
That's what it sounds
Yes.
like.
Party line.
Marshmallows are
I like that.
downstairs. And it
Yes.
keeps coming in every direction. And to get peace from it is so unbelievable that I really wish everybody could try it to see what we're talking about. But everyone
Yeah.
can't, because it's
No.
financially prohibitive, and it is out of off label for Mounjaro. Still, you have to have diabetes, and they're really kind of cracking down at that. But they did so well with those coupons, and why they decided to discontinue the coupons, I have no idea. But I would even do it for the coupons. I would say, I'll be your spokesperson. I'll do your TV commercials, and I'll even get weighed in. All I want to do is tell people the truth of this drug.
Yes. That's awesome. God, I wish that would happen. I this week, and that was when I made the TikTok, just hoping
We'll put the word out.
Yeah. And that we in our community, people are at a place because they have experienced this level of health, right? The mental, the physical, all of it, and the control of their life again, right? And the happiness that they can have again. And they are desperate, Rosie, to keep this medication in their life, and they are taking very scary risk. Like,
listen, I don't think I would do anything different if I was them.
I wouldn't either.
I have had a taste of it for 6 months, and I am unwilling to go back to life before it.
Yes. Yeah. And there are so many, like, there are ways that they have, like, certain compounds that, you know, probably half the cost. And those are what, like, have FDA oversight, and they have certain certifications that you would want them to have. But people still can't, the average person still can't usually afford $500 a month. So they're doing is they're getting, like, Groupons, and they're getting, you know, companies on you know, Facebook and social media that are selling it for a couple $100s a month. They're telling them to mix it up in their kitchen.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Period. It's dangerous, and there's no need, and it's corporate greed. And I don't understand why they don't see the goodwill that would be brought on to them and their company by helping millions of people who need it.
Yes. Yeah. And we've been trying to, when we have the doctors on here, we've been trying to say, listen, we know you're not going to say this compound is safe, this compound is safe, but can you just let us know what the red flags are, so they make a safer-ish decision, because we are so tight in our community, and we understand each other so well, right? We understand the pain, and we understand, like, the joy once you take this medicine, you know, and what it can do for your life. And so it's just, like, breaking our hearts, you know? And so we want people to understand, but we also get it. Like, we all get it. We can't go back, you know?
No.
And it's just,
it's so unfair. It's so unfair to ask anyone to do that. It's so unfair to the people who have used it and now cannot. I mean, I almost feel worse for them than I feel for the people who've never tried it, because to live without it, once you have the freedom of it, is a fate worse than death, because you know what's going to happen is you're going to gain it all back and then some, and
the noise.
No way to stop it.
No. Yeah. I was also curious, because, you know, you talk about your kids, and, you know, and I know you talked about, like, weight issues as you were growing up. You know, I have, my son doesn't seem to have the problem yet. He's very tall and lean, seemed to have good metabolism like his father did growing up, although his dad's now obese too, my husband. But it's hard to have conversations with him around food, because I don't want to put my shit on him. You know what I mean? But he also is autistic. So he's a lot of texture and, like, sound stuff. Right. So I want to come at him with the most,
How old?
He's 10.
No, my daughter's autistic too, and she's 10.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's 10 too?
Yeah, and she only eats 4 things.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do because of the texture, because of the smell, because of how it feels in her hand. If it's warm at all, we have to cook her food, which is usually organic chicken nuggets, tater tots, and try to get her to eat a fruit or a vegetable, which rarely happens.
Yeah.
We put it at the table, and then the chef will cook my meal, and 30, 40
Right.
minutes later, she'll eat the cold food. She won't
Oh,
eat it
wow.
if it's warm.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
so yeah, my son is very weird about like the way things look and feel and taste and all the same thing. And it's just because their brains just work differently than ours. You know what I mean? And
And you
like
can
I
tell
would
they're
just
not doing it to be,
no.
obstinate. They're doing it
No.
because this is what their brain is telling them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
are only a few safe foods for her. And
Yes.
it's the weirdest thing is this, my chef Elizabeth,
Yeah.
she makes her fried cheese. So she grades up the cheese and she
Yeah.
makes like a crepe, a thin crepe of like hard cheese. And
Yeah.
she thin like a pancake, thinner than a crepe. And she eats that. And
Hey, that's protein. Love
that's
it.
number 5. That's the 5th food she's eaten.
Yeah.
Although
Oh,
we were
okay.
at a birthday party, a few months ago, and I'm like, usually I bring my own food for her because
Yeah.
she won't eat anything. And I see the mother hand her a ketchup-filled hot dog, and
Yeah.
she didn't. She looked around, and I pretended I didn't see, and she
Yeah.
ate the hot dog, and I
No.
like started to cry because. And then I say to her in the car, "So how'd you like that hot dog?" She
Yeah.
said it was good. Well, I go buy every fucking hot dog brand that there is.
Hell yeah. People don't understand. This is huge. Yes.
I even had a little thing where you put the hot dogs in the toaster. So I thought she would
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
Hasn't eaten it again. It was just a random party thing. And, but I did see her do it. And I did give me hope, for the world. My other children don't have weight issues. My oldest son, only since he got injured in the Marines, he's gained weight because he had a fractured back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's trying to lose it now, but he was like your son, a lanky, skinny, blonde towhead. And then
That's what it
when
looks
he's
like.
28, he's gained some weight and he's working on that. But none of my kids really have it, and it's interesting because you don't really know their genetics. I don't know if their moms were obese or their dads, or I don't really know. And so I don't, nurture nature, biology, or, your birth home. I don't know what it is, but I'm very happy that they don't have it because
of course.
I know the pain of people making fun of you because of it. Even the president of the United States.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not good.
It's like, whoa. And the fact that everybody was doing that, like Letterman would have him on and people would have him on and he would just go off on me being fat and gross and a pig. And it was allowed. Like, I remember thinking, well, the National Organization of Women is going to introduce a statement or a press release and say, no, didn't happen. It was like misogyny 101. You're allowed to brutalize someone about their appearance and have it be laughed at on all the major media talk shows.
Yeah.
It was shocking to me.
Yeah, it's horrible. And what kills me is that also sets a precedent, right? That president, but it also sets
okay
then it must be
I
okay. And man, that's just how people are, especially if it's like a leader, regardless of the leader, and it's like, that's kind of how things go. And then we can't stop this shit if they don't shut the hell up about this kind of stuff, like, and I'm hoping that the narrative of the fact that we can change it, right? That it's way more about the fact that this is a disease, the fact that there are FDA treatments. And it does hurt me to my core to think that there are people out there who can't benefit from this. So many people can't, Rosie. And like, I'm trying, and it's very difficult, but I'm trying to find a way to have companies look at this as a DE&I, like the fact that there should be coverage for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Like that should be part of a benefits package, to include treatment for your disease, but a lot of people that have been reaching out to, they're just not there yet,
Yeah. But who knows what will get to the company? Maybe there's a woman whose husband works at Eli Lilly and she's watching this. And she could say, Rosie O'Donnell said that she'd be willing to do it for nothing.
Indeed. Yes.
And I am willing because I know the benefits, and I can honestly say, even with the threat of, well, what happens in 10 years if you grow an extra head?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, right? It's been.
I may not be here in 10 years.
Well,
That's the
yeah,
thing.
it's already
You
been,
may
yeah.
not be here in 5.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm 61, and I think to myself, if I'm lucky, I got 25 more good summers.
Yeah.
That's it. And we all
Yeah.
have an expiration date, and we want to be able to live fully and freely
Yeah.
until we're done. And this
Exactly.
drug
You know, yes.
it made our lives longer.
Yeah.
Liv,
For the
Liv,
first
you know
time
what?
in like 15 years, when I flew to France, I was not scared that I was going to spill over into somebody else's seat. I wasn't
Yeah.
scared that someone was going to snicker and talk about me. I wasn't scared that someone was going to go like this when I walked by, like for the first time in so many years. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I'll take it. If I grow
It
an
is
extra
an
inch, that's fine.
freeing.
Yeah.
I might go to the south of
is-
France just to have that experience on the plane.
Yeah.
Just go ahead. Come on.
And
No, you get
That's-
the Porsche.
there's
You get the
another thing.
Porsche up to your plane, ma'am.
you get the Porsche though. So
Delta.
I mean, you know.
Write a letter to Delta. Say thank you for Porsche care. It's the best. Well, listen, I have my shrink in 6 minutes, and I missed it the last 2 times because I was away. So
Yeah,
I don't
no.
want to be late
Okay.
for her.
Yeah.
Thank you for writing me. You know, I
Yeah.
saw your
Thank
plea, and
you.
I remember thinking, of course I would do it. Why wouldn't I do it?
Thank you.
Why wouldn't
I
I?
appreciate this so much. This is really going to
We really
help.
do. The
Thank
community
you.
really does.
Send me when it's going to be on, and then I can. Or is it on now? Is this it?
Oh, no, it's not on now. We're
No, it's
recording.
recorded.
Okay. So I will, if you send me like a little clip or something that has your thing, your Chiron of how to get there, I'll put it up
Yeah.
on mine. And I have a lot of people on that.
That would be wonderful,
Awesome.
Rosie.
That
Thank
would
you
be
so
awesome.
much. And we're
Thank
so
you
happy
so
to have
much.
you in our community.
You all very, very much, and carry on with your good health. And let's try to help people if we can.
Let's do it. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We
All
Thank
will.
you,
All
Rosie.
right.
Thank you,
Take care,
Rosie.
All right. Thank you, Rosie.
Bye.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Love her so much. She's the best. Let's bring on Dr. Rosen. Hey, Dr. Rosen, are you available?
You're sneaking on.
He was. He snuck on.
Oh, he's here just
He
listening.
did.
Well,
It's just
kind of
let's listen,
creeping.
Dr. Rosen. It's okay. He was creeping. It's okay.
We can't see it.
Just
Well,
listen.
he was like, I'm
Anyway.
going to join between lunch to see if I can. So Rosie is going to have Dr. Rosen on her show. So this would be really great if you
Hey there.
Dr. Rosen.
Dr.
What a
Rosen.
great show. What an
Wasn't
amazing
it
show. I
I know.
was so entertained.
It was good, right?
Great show, guys.
She's the best.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So much interesting stuff that came out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
She came on a live of someone in our community and said all the things. And there were so many people on there, but I was like, she just said all what you just said here. Like, and I was just like, she gets it. Like, and it was just, it was so cool to hear like a positive celebrity say, hey, this is important for everyone. And here's why. And like that, it's so kind of her. Cause I'm just like this little person. Like I have a little bitty following in TikTok. Like, you know,
It's a ripple.
She's
Yeah.
got
Thank you.
oh, we lost
Oh,
you, Dr.
darn
Rosen.
it. It's okay.
You know,
I'm
Should
back.
hopefully be like popping
Back.
back
I can
on.
hear you. I can hear
I'm
We
you.
can hear you.
Oh,
She has no
there he
ego.
is.
You know, she has no ego about it.
No.
And she
No.
just, it's amazing to say, but like, she's just one of us in this.
Yes. Yes, she really is.
I can
She
see that.
totally gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
And I thought it was so interesting, Dr. Rosen, about when she was talking about the sleeve and only needing 2.5. Remember when you were telling us that, like,
Yeah.
because she has more
Yeah.
already because of the intestine to the stomach, right?
Also, she's not being driven by weight loss, you know? So,
Ding!
It is. Yes. It's true.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because Janine's
Thank
like that
you.
too, right? So Janine is gonna, she'll be at the
Thank
lower
you.
dose for maintenance.
Look,
because
Right.
Yeah.
But-
thank you.
low dose won't cut it if you're chasing weight loss, and for a lot of people that's appropriate. The low dose won't cut it if you've had a big amount of weight loss from the sleeve, and then you're trying to get the rest. You know,
Yes.
you'll just
Yeah.
tired. But she's primarily driven by her A1C control, which is
Yeah.
doing amazing, and
Yeah.
she's getting residual weight loss benefit. And
Yes.
since it's not the primary motivator her doctor's being conservative, and she's also extremely sensitive to it.
Yeah.
If you hear the way she
Yeah,
talks
sounds
about
like it. Yeah.
Very.
couldn't eat for a week on the 2.5, right?
Yeah.
That's a marker of someone who's really sensitive to GLP-1s.
Yeah.
Whereas I have patients who will say, like, I didn't really feel it.
Yep. It's
Well-
interesting when you hear that. Like I feel like I felt it, but I don't know if I really was losing weight because I was so like broken by diet culture that I was like, I'm just going to eat less,
Right.
And then I was like, eventually I was like, I think maybe I'll think about what I'm eating now. And then,
Right.
but I never was like week to week tracking because I come from like Weight Watchers and points and calories and all of those different things. And that shit broke me. So I just can't do that anymore,
But it's so many people that in the
Yeah.
community, especially the newbies, that like are trying to see like what is the quote unquote expectation. And
Yeah.
I love the fact that she said that she would be a spokesperson. I couldn't
Yes.
really say it then because it just wasn't
so
the time.
kind.
But
Yeah.
and I mean, plus I was trying to say it, but
Yeah.
but I love the fact that because Novo Nordisk has one of my sorority sisters as a spokesperson, and she's now on a new sitcom, and they now also have Anthony Davis
Yeah.
for these
Anthony and-
GLP-1s, and
Yeah.
Eli Lilly doesn't have anyone, and
Yeah.
you have a person like Rosie O'Donnell who's saying,
Yes.
I will do it for free.
It's like perfect
Bring
person.
that coupon back. Yeah.
Because she actually
Yeah.
cared. Yeah.
But the thing about Rosie is she gives an altruistic, bent to that coupon, which I think is really sweet of her. I think it may be, she's trying to give the benefit of the doubt to Eli Lilly. I'm a little bit
Yeah, she's trying.
more
She did.
skeptical.
Well, we do see all the
Skeptical,
uglies, don't
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She
I
was
think that-
trying.
I think they were trying to capture market share from Novo Nordisk,
Same.
from Ozempic, and when you get people hooked, then they're customers for life is the idea.
Yes.
So you give them a very low entry rate, and then all of a sudden you take it away and you put a
Yeah.
higher price point that they have no choice but to pay.
Yeah.
But talking about the people who lose the medication is extremely, extremely, disheartening. That's an interesting angle to talk about.
Yeah.
Also, I think what's so cool is I'm hearing a lot of stuff like you're hijacking your body with these
Yeah.
medications. The people who are afraid of what it's going to do to you.
Yeah.
Look at Kat and I. We're like, what?
You're like, right. Well, you guys understand. It's like you're taking your
Yeah.
body
Yeah.
back.
Yes. You're like, wait a
Yes,
minute.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. You know who's hijacking your body? Food scientists who work for processed food companies. They're hijacking your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like what
True.
thousands of centuries of of scarcity that still works in our brains, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're exploiting all of our biology for their bottom line and leaving us holding the bag of obesity.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
And-
medication gives us the pause
Yeah.
to, say no to that stuff,
Yeah.
even though they wired our brains, not just with how they construct the food, but the marketing and advertising around it as well.
Yeah. For
from
sure.
birth. So,
Yeah, and I think
Absolutely,
like even like
100%.
Rosie was saying with cookies, like you think of warm cookies, you think of like home and like nurturing and like you tie
Comfort.
all these like emotions into these things, and which
Yeah.
makes sense why she always had cookies around, like and I think that's sort of like built in to our, I don't want to say our DNA because it ain't, but it's messing with our DNA because we're eating it all, and I really think that it drives me crazy right now seeing so many people being put in this situation. And I just was very much like she was saying, got to this point where I thought, are we doing anything with this podcast? Like, sure, it's growing, but are we loud enough? Are we having people understand that there are safer compounds? You can choose those, and like, are we? And then
Yeah.
finally I was
Yeah.
on a live and people were like,
you're making a difference. It seems small, but you're making a difference. And then I was like, I want Rosie. And then she immediately was like, of course, and it was just like the coolest thing. And I'm hoping this is the episode that can help us get louder, right? That I can do more marketing and that I can, we can have sponsors and all of these different things to like actually make a difference here. So I'm really hoping that, I'm an optimist.
Keep it up.
Doing a great job. You are all doing a great job speaking for the community. I really like what you said about compounds. I think that they are a mixed bag, and there's some really great opportunities for people to access medication who can't otherwise get it. And then the notion of people mixing their own scares the shit out of me.
And they're teaching each other how to do it, Dr. Rosen.
Messaging me, like I have a vial of powder. It's like, especially if it's from a med spa or some international online website. It could have fentanyl. No.
Yes.
You gotta have a doctor.
Such a small amount of fentanyl.
You gotta have someone who can walk you through reconstitution, who can like monitor dosing. If you don't have someone you can reach on a day's notice to like walk you through the administration of your medication, I would be very hesitant.
Yes. There are people that are actually buying these things from individuals like it's a fucking MLM. It's sorry, I didn't mean to get a word. Like
it's like people selling like those steroids.
Kim went like straight gangster the other day because
I've been missing all of this. I try to keep up.
Yeah, she went straight like
don't do that
full frontal. And I was like, whoa. And I literally braced myself, Kat and Dr. Rosen, because I said, oh, well, wait a minute. Okay, now I would expect that from me, but I sent it to her because there are two people in particular that are teaching people how to mix peptides at their house.
Random people, just like randos.
And they're in the community and they don't have any gloves
Breaking
on.
Bad type stuff. Like, what's going on? Oh my!
Well, it's some junkies type stuff. It's like giving junkie vibes. It really is.
Like we said, like they are driven to this by this bullshit we've been talking about. You give people health, you give people hope, you give people happiness and control, and then you go.
Here we go again with this Nino Brown shit. Oh my gosh, it's right. You give them hope. You get them hooked. Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The narrative. Prepare for the narrative, because that's the next thing. Now obese people are just drug addicts. But instead of
it takes one person to really get hurt badly, and
so ahead of it. We got to get ahead of it because
we do.
It's a disease. This is a viable option and a treatment. Improves health, improves mental clarity. All those things. But you girls are carrying the flag. I salute you. I support
appreciate it. Thank you for your support.
Yes, thank you so much.
So carry on. I'm here if you need me. Great job today.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I'll be in
touch. Talk to you guys soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh, this was such a good episode.
I'm gonna, if you have let's see, the phone slid. Guys, you guys don't want to see the my husband's underwear all screwed over in the back.
Oh God!
I'm just kidding. It's not. I'm being silly.
We don't know if he does butt stuff, but we don't want to. So the butt stuff joke is a thing forever. I don't know how to get around it at this point. Like all I do is think
oh Jesus.
Butt stuff in France. Butt stuff with Homer and Odyssey or something, right?
Yep, I'm ready for some rosé now. So yeah. So oh gosh, this is great.
Yes. I really hope that people will hear her, too. And it was so good to have Dr. Rose on to validate the science of it, even though I don't think Rosie necessarily needs that. But wasn't it so interesting what she said about Oprah? Because you know how I am with the Oprah.
I will love Oprah forever, always. I
Yeah.
don't care what she does. Like, I can't. She's a core memory. Like, legitimately, I remember her saying, I think it was Sydney Port today and a Raisin in the Sun. And she has said on many of her episodes, she said, if he could do that, what can I do? And legitimately, anytime I'm in a situation, even though I ain't Oprah, I ain't never going to be, I think to myself, if she could do that, what could I do? You know, and what could we do? So, you know, we have to, you know, I think keep moving forward. But I even remember her making that comparison with Roseanne Barr and then Rosie, right? And she's saying like, oh, I was thinking like we're kind of the same and we're similar. And that's how I was like rating myself. I remember an episode with Oprah. I love Oprah forever. I remember an episode with Oprah where she said that she remembered they announced the weight of Mike Tyson, and he was the heavyweight champion of the world. And she was like, hell, I'm the same weight as Mike Tyson. And she remembered those like moments, you know. But that goes back to us keep looking at bodies like they're one size fits all, and
they are not. Yes, yes.
Like, and it's not just how they physically appear. It's not like with a t-shirt, right? That's a one size fits all, which is bullshit of its own. But the fact that our body, it just doesn't work the same, and that's why my GLP-1 works different than your GLP-1, because my body has a different type of deficit, right? It's totally different, you know. And I
think it's a deeper conversation too, because you have different beauty standards for different sex of women. So like there's and unfortunately a lot of it may be racial. So like for African American women, we tend to carry a little bit more weight because of our physiology. And then but people who like are maybe have obesity, it like could be it is the physiology. And so that goes back to how long did it take to finally get Vogue to have a quote unquote plus size woman.
Yeah, right.
So I'm reading this book right now. I don't know if you guys can see it. Fearing the Black Body.
Fearing the Black Body.
Yep. The racial origins of fat phobia. So
wow.
It's a very good book.
And you know, Kat, I don't know if you saw, but Janine posted something, I think, from GMA, right? Or wasn't it Good Morning America? Where they were talking about how they have altered like what they're suggesting for BMI now, because
I saw that.
Like race, right? And I'm
still suspicious, but I do. No.
Y'all know I'm an internal optimist. It's a start, you know.
It's a start. It's a start.
Yeah.
And BMI is racist as hell.
Yeah. BMI is just stupid. It's old
racist
and it's
as hell.
And,
and we're such a mixture of everything. So it's racist as hell. It's
so bad. It's so bad. And I hate it because I had someone comment on our podcast and say that she said she was a doctor. I don't know what kind or anything like that, but she was like, BMI actually isn't bad because your doctor should be looking at all the things. And I was like, but you know what? They don't.
Insurance companies do that too, though.
They don't do that. That's the problem. She was like, well, they should have inspected you and like weight around your waist. And I'm like, they don't. Because when they look and see you're obese, when they've decided that you're in a particular category, they don't do that. Or at least they didn't. Maybe they're starting now. God, I hope so. But no, it didn't matter that I didn't have high blood pressure. It didn't matter that I didn't have high cholesterol. None of that when I was younger, right? None of that mattered. What mattered is
try to get life insurance. Try to have someone take your weight for life insurance.
Yeah. I mean,
but if they see that scale.
Yeah. And I for sure have had people, even though I was perfectly healthy, all right, up until recently, really, you know, in terms of health, right? Like the normal things that you track, right? But then I go up and I get to this BMI and there's certain insurance, like a life insurance, I can't even qualify for, even though I'm healthy, because they know ultimately, based on stupid BS, like that I'll start towards the path of type 2 and all of those things.
Well,
you know,
and BMI was not even created by a doctor.
And,
that, and then also now, you know, unfortunately, well, you know, insurance is a whole nother ball of wax. But with type 2s, even if you're properly treated for it, obesity, if you're and that right there is the struggle.
Properly,
that right there is the fight. That if you're properly treated, you mean because I'm a type 2, I have to pay more, and you could deny me coverage.
Yeah.
Type 2s get denied like crazy. And then on
Yeah.
top of that, obesity, they're both chronic diseases.
Yes.
And it's not right because everyone doesn't have the same physiological makeup.
Yes.
It just isn't right.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
why
right.
I'm applying diet and exercise and saying that should work for every human body. And if it doesn't, then you're fat and lazy. It makes no fucking sense.
And
Like,
here's
it
my
just-
thing, and here's with exercise, period. Why do I have to work out to be thin? What if I just want to work out because I want to be happy? I don't want to chew my husband out. Like, I just want to, or I want to, not feel like I want to melt into a puddle on the ground and cry. Like, it's very important to your mental health. Yeah. So
it's just like Rebecca said.
I hate to cut this short, ladies, but I'm getting texts from the fellas.
Because you're in France.
Oh,
I get it.
I'm in France, and they are downstairs at the bar. They're like, "Listen, you." They're getting ready.
France,
It's cocktail hour.
Joy.
And
you deserve
oh my god. All right, it was so good to see you, ladies. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Dr. Rosen.
I know. It's so exciting.
I'm gonna leave you guys. Oh, my sign off. Well, yeah, with Katharine Hepburn. Always be yourself, never quit, and don't put too much flour on your brownies, ladies.
Don't do it.
And go have some wine and cheese. That's what I'm going to do right now.
That's a catism.
Yes.
Yeah. What?
A catism.
Wine and cheese.
It's a catism.
Yeah.
We're gonna have more catisms. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bye, Kat. Enjoy your vacation. Thanks for coming.
Bye, love.
Bye, guys. All right.
Hi. Journey. I said when we started that we wanted Rosie, and we got Rosie.
I can't believe, like,
it was the first thing you said. You were like, "We're gonna manifest it. We're gonna manifest it."
I sure did, didn't I? I
Yeah,
did.
you did right at the beginning.
I did. Oh my gosh.
Like, dream come true for me. So, like to have her. I know it is for you too. Like to have her on here and have her speak, for our community in the way that she does, and her heart and how kind she is. Like I'm so thrilled. I am so proud that we didn't like completely geek out, y'all. I tried. You saw the beginning. I was like, welcome.
I didn't. I mean, you know what? I did my best to stay as level as possible, but I almost lost it when she said that she would be the spokesperson for free.
Oh, I cried. Did you see me? I couldn't. I was like, stop it, Kim.
That's when I almost lost it because I was like, oh my gosh. What she could command.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
hopefully she'll help us do this and people will start paying attention because a positive celebrity voice around these medications is essential, and I think it's so cool that she's like in our community and like gets on lives with us and like does podcasts with us. It's phenomenal. So we decided that even if she's gone, that we were going to do our favorite Rosie moments. And I was saying I have so many. Of course, we love A League of Their Own. Like, and I know she mentioned that specifically. I just love that movie so much. But I loved her show so much when she was in like in 96. So I think I was in like middle school, high school-ish. Yeah, because I graduated in 98. And I loved it. And I would always watch it and I would record it. On a VHS. Like that's how I did that with Oprah and with Rosie.
Yeah.
And I loved her show. And I always loved how she would like shoot things off of her desk, and then she would call people cutie patootie. And to this day, I still call people cutie patootie because it's the best, and her show was just so funny and fun loving. And it just like lifted my heart,
her show broke so many barriers.
I love it.
Because she was a female with a like nighttime talk show setup, but it was during the day.
Yeah, it was so cool. Yeah.
And it's like now we look at that, and that's the norm. Well, it wasn't that way just then. Like almost 30 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, it was like Oprah was and then I think they probably had some of like Sally Jesse and things like that, but it wasn't the same. Like that was very like, it wasn't the same. It was like
No.
you said, like a Tonight Show during the day. It was just, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I miss that show so much. I wish she'd do it again. But yeah.
I loved her talk show.
Yeah.
But I really love that she's such a proponent for the arts, for Broadway.
Yes, that's right.
That
We didn't even get to talk to her about Broadway and how much we love Broadway.
we didn't even get to talk to her about Broadway. But I love how, like, she would take children, her foundation would take children to Broadway shows.
Yes.
Kids that lived right in New York, you know,
That's
and
so
they
cool.
may not even go to a show. To this day, it's just like, okay, like when I went to go see a Broadway show, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, Rosie O'Donnell is a proponent of Broadway.
Yeah.
And I'm
Love
going
it.
to see a Broadway show. I mean, you know,
Yes.
you never
I
know
get it.
how someone will impact you.
No, and you never know like when that person's gonna like end up in your life, if ever. And like, and I think it's interesting, like all these things, like it does connect us, right? Not the medication, but like obesity and the biological dysfunction that many of us, you know, whether it's PCOS or insulin resistance or type 2 or genetic obesity, like, you know, or genetic type 2, like you and I have talked about, like, you know, it does connect us in a way that I've never seen a community cover. And so I have decided, and we're going to manifest this, that this community can change things and that this podcast is going to move shit forward. And we are going, because community is strong. Community is powerful. Look what we were able just to accomplish in 2 months of people just telling stories and doctors caring enough to be like, yes, this is why this is true. Like, what could we do in 6 months? What could we do in a year? Maybe we'll be, I mean, like, I'm just manifesting. Maybe we'll be, you know, going and talking to fucking, I don't know, legislatures and shit, and being like, this is why this matters, you know, and you never know like where the plus sides could go, but there's plenty of plus sides.
The sky
the sky's the limit.
limit.
We're gonna do it. I've just decided. I know I'm an eternal optimist, but I'm just decided it's gonna happen.
But no,
you know, I remember the Broadway thing. Like, it's funny you said that. Like, I was convinced that I was going to be a Broadway star. Like, I did chorus, I had solos. I was convinced until I didn't
go that far.
And when I was 16, I was plus size, and I did not see representation of plus size women in Broadway then, unless they played a particular, you know, plus size role, right? And that just didn't really exist then. And I legitimately, just because of that, gave up on a dream, you know, and that's all it took. And I just don't want any more kids feeling that way. I don't want any more. I just, this shit needs to stop. Like, enough is enough, you know? And we're going to change things. I've decided.
And well, you know what, Kim, I am so glad that you've caught up, because I think that it's already been decided that we're changing things. I think that we just had to catch up with it.
Yeah.
And I love that she came on, and she didn't come on as, oh, I'm a celebrity. She was so relatable.
She's so relatable. I know. She's the best.
You know, she's, you know, beyond relatable. And it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
And for all of you naysayers out there who are saying that this medication, like, just think about it. Rosie is a type 2 diabetic. And Rosie wants this medication for anyone that it helps. You know? So before you start judging people, consider that she's even saying like, hey, you know, type 2 diabetes is not the only thing. This helps people, and it helps it because it's a dysfunction within your biology, you know? So before you get like that, like, if you need someone that could legitimately, like certain people we've seen on talk shows that run their mouth and think the medicine belongs to them, could easily have said those things, but she doesn't. She wants good things, even when she went without for a week or two, right? Even then, she still was like, I want this.
She couldn't find it. She couldn't find it.
Yeah.
She couldn't find it. And you know what? And unfortunately, that's more common than not, because I know you all remember when I couldn't find the dosage that I'm still on, 7.5 milligrams, because and one Sunday I literally called 12 pharmacies. I'm like, okay, no.
That's what we call pharmacy roulette in the community.
That's it, because you are spinning the wheel, and it's like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we do classic sign-offs. I
I guess so.
this is so
Because it's
much
just
fun
the
this
two of us.
episode. We don't
This
have
is just
Kat,
the two
but
of
she
us.
did hers. But she did hers. So it's just us. So my
Just us.
classic sign-off is as always, which is you are not alone.
Yes.
Clearly. Rosie even has this, and it is not your fault. Point blank, period. And we love you. Come join us on TikTok.
Yes. And aren't you missing one?
Oh, hasta la pasta.
That's it. I'm like, wait a minute. I think we're missing one of your classic sign-offs here.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, you know mine. It is a marathon and not a sprint.
Exactly.
That's it. It's a marathon and not a sprint. We got to keep going.
Yes. So we will be back next week. We have lots of really, really good things planned. So we hope you'll keep tuning in, keep sharing, keep letting people know that they're not alone. It's not their fault. Have them come to TikTok, have them come to the plus sides. Also, we have a merch store. So obviously, like our podcast is totally volunteer, you know, so if you can do anything to help us keep the lights on with getting something really cool in the store, that would be amazing. There's lots of really cute things. You saw Jordan and I on last episode that we were wearing our little plus size shirts, and it was cute. And then if you can go there, and I really like this whole idea of an MJ butt pillow with butt stuff on it. I feel like people would buy that, you know, and it'd be funny. Like we get a pillow and it says MJ butt. On the back, it says do butt stuff with Kat. I feel like that would be cute. You need it. I know. Anyway, so yeah, if you want to do that, go to the plus sides. Don't forget the Z.com.
Yes.
And then go to shop and you can go and look at all of the different merches, and it's made to order. It'll come straight to you. If there's any issues, we get reprints, no problem. So please do everything you can to support us. We'd really appreciate it.
We would.
All right. Oh, and reviews and all the things. Like if you're like listening, reviews, you know, and that's like a big thing because that will make us get louder and louder and get referred up to other people who aren't necessarily watching this yet. So those things we really need community. So if you can help us out, that would be awesome. And until then, hasta la pasta.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
See you next time.
See you next time, everyone.
Bye.
20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Ro. Ro helps find the medication that's right for you, based on cost, availability, and your weight loss goals. Losing weight with GLP-1s is possible through Ro.
Let me tell you a quick story. I was telling Kat how I was regaining weight after my 100-pound loss using GLP-1 medications, and I was having snacky cravings and waking up at 3 a.m. and I had hot flashes, and I was worried. But Kat was like, listen, I went through this last year. It's perimenopause, and I started HRT, and she used this company called Winona. So I started going there to see if this was something that was going with me. Turns out it was, because I'm 46. And it's been amazing. It's taken a while to find the right dose, but once I did, it's just been huge. I've been sleeping. I feel more myself again. And the hot flashes are gone, which is, geez, really bad. So I will tell you, it's just been so big for me. And so I wanted to partner with them on the podcast because obviously many of our listeners are going through this same age range and definitely are having these issues. And there's just no need for you to suffer. So if you go to the link that's in our link tree, you can click on that and save money. If you go there and you meet all the criteria, and this might be something for you to try. So I just want to make sure you have this great resource because it's just been such a big difference for me and Kat. Again, you can go to the link in our link tree and get what you need. Today's episode is brought to you by Ro, a telehealth platform that's changing the game of GLP-1 access. What sets Ro apart? Ro understands the challenges of navigating insurance hurdles and the skyrocketing prices of GLP-1 medications. That's why they specialize in getting insurance approvals for GLP-1s. And if insurance is a barrier, they go a step further by prescribing brand name zepbound vials for prices close to those of compound GLP-1s. With Ro, you're not just getting a prescription, you're getting a partner in your journey that's helping you access affordable treatment and guiding you every step of the way. Whether it's insurance approvals or cost-effective alternatives, Ro is here to make sure that you get the medication you need. Visit ro.co/plus-sides with a Z today to see how they can help you take control of your weight management journey with affordable, accessible care. That's ro.co/plus-sides with a Z, making healthcare work for you. Check out the link in our show notes for more details.
Are you interested in understanding GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro? Then join us on the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, the groundbreaking podcast helping people change their lives one episode at a time. The Plus Sides podcast is a disruptor. We're breaking down barriers, smashing stereotypes, and sharing inspiring stories that'll leave you feeling informed and empowered. Join us every week to learn from doctors who are specialists around GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, or Mounjaro. They'll provide you with science and facts to validate these incredible stories. But that's not all. We'll also bring you the voices of the GLP-1 Mounjaro TikTok community, real people who face the challenges of obesity-related diseases and disorders and discovered the incredible plus sides of GLP-1 medications. Our episodes are filled with heartwarming stories, laughter, and moments of triumph. You'll connect with our amazing community members who are reclaiming their health and experiencing their fullest lives. Are you ready to embark on a journey of discovery and empowerment? Tune in to the Plus Sides, Cracking the Obesity Code, and together we'll change the narrative around obesity and end the stigma. Subscribe now on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and join our incredible community. Let's celebrate the plus sides of life together, because every story deserves to be heard. Every life deserves to shine, and everyone deserves access to expert knowledge and medication. The Plus Sides Podcast. You're not alone. It's not your fault.